Hey everyone, welcome to Destiny Tuesdays, where we talk about my new book, Destiny on Purpose, How to Get What You Really Want Out of Life. I'm going to put a little picture there. And the purpose of this program is to go in depth to talk to people about the book. I never feel like this is a quick read. This is something that you want to hold on to. Like the great Bob Proctor said, since 1970s, he's been holding on to his Think and Grow Rich book, and it's increased his success rate and has produced the lifestyle that he wanted. And this is what I feel this book will do for many people, is to keep it with you. Whenever you're feeling a struggle at any point in your life, you know where to go to for those particular items. That's why I break the book up into the different laws so you can master the ones that you need to master. And I feel like with you reading, it's good, but I always want to give additional content so you know the mindset of the author. So when you read it, you understand what I mean and my intentions behind what I write. And I feel like this is going to catapult people from point A to point B in record time because they're more focused and they're mastering what makes people successful. I took it upon myself, took 7 years to research all the top successful people that ever existed in this human experience. From gurus to wise men to sages to men of industry to businessmen to entertainers to athletes, to see what made them more successful than other people. And I realized is when you're pursuing your purpose, you're guaranteed success because you came into this time-space reality to do exactly that. And nothing in the world can stop you. Like the alchemist said, when you really want something, it's because that desire resided in the soul of the universe. It is your mission on earth. And also the alchemist said, when you want something, the whole entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. Why? Because it's one. It's all one. It's something that you want to do because it's innately in you to do, and it's something the universe wants you to do because that's why you're here for. So that's what I want to talk to everyone about. We're going to go through different episodes to break down the book. This is the very first one, and this one really is an introduction of what we're trying to do. Not what we're trying to do, what we're going to do, and how we're going to change millions of lives all over the world. Again, please check out the book Destiny on Purpose, How to Get What You Truly Want Out of Life, which if you listen to these videos while reading the book, it'll do so much more for you. So, as we begin, I want to first give a shout out to the Les Brown Maximum Achievement Team. I also want to give a great shout out to Shraddha, WTB, and post her book too, where she actually wrote the foreword for my book. We're both founding members of the Les Brown Maximum Achievement Team. She's an international speaker, she's a firehouse, and she's completely amazing. And I want to give a shout out to my mentor, the great Les Brown, who I would not be here if it wasn't for his mentoring, his sacrifices that he made in his own life so I could be here. And I take that very, very seriously. So cool, I want to just break down a few things that we're going to talk about through the additional episodes. We're going to go through every single law. The first law we're going to talk about is destiny and desire. But before we do that, we're going to do a little introduction. So, who is Rich Fontaine? Rich Fontaine is a AAMBC nominated best-selling author and the author of Destiny on Purpose. Also, he's an international speaker that speaks with the Les Brown Maximum Achievement Team, Toastmasters, and has spoken at the University of Central Florida, community events, and places all over Florida as well. And spoke at the Champion Mindset. I actually will be speaking with Les Brown in July 11th, 2018 in Tampa, Florida. So I'm very excited about that with my partner, Cody Mannix, as well. Why should you listen to me? They say that it takes 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, 6 years to get a master's degree, and about 8 years to get a PhD. I have a PhD in success because I not only studied it, but restudied, reread, relearned, and read the top books of all time. Also, I found through meditation and contemplation something within me that I knew was truth. And once I found that truth within what the stuff I was researching, I knew it all aligned. And it just opened up the doors for me that I could do anything. And as I started moving forward to that, with that mindset that I could do anything, it seemed like the doors just started opening. People started calling me versus me going out to them. They started coming to me. And that's what I want for everyone here, to really find your purpose in life and to pursue this destiny that you were meant to have. The great Napoleon Hill said, when you're born with two envelopes. Envelope one is all the great things you can do, all the positive things you were born to do, all these amazing things to change the world or adjust the world to the positive realm that you were born to make it. Or you have the other envelope that's pure suffering. That is frustration, anger, disease, viruses, and pain. And we both have both destinies, but we're born with both destinies. We get to choose which one. And that's what this whole entire book is about. And why you should listen to me is because I put in the time, I put into work, I put in the pursuit, and actually implemented in my own life. I saw the difference in the shift. Everything I used to put on my vision boards, I'm living. And it's beautiful. And that's what I want for everyone here. So this very first video is going to be just a little bit more of an introduction. The next videos we're going to go into in depth really within the book. But the very first thing I want to talk about is, who am I? What am I doing? And I am also the author of The East Side. It's a romance novel. It was my very first book that was published by Dare Books. Also, I am the new publisher, which the book comes out late this year of December, The Nerd Who Saved the Universe. It's a children's series, how to really build up your self-esteem. It's a fictional book with a cool story about this kid who uses his imagination to build up his self-esteem. Until his self-esteem gets built up, now his imagination is really becoming his reality. It's a beautiful book, and definitely check that out when it comes out. So, what would this book do for you? It will align you. And what does alignment mean to me? Alignment means when your thoughts match what you say, which matches what you believe, which matches what you do. For example, many people say, hey, well, I want to be a best-selling author. But then what they say is, well, hopefully one day I'll become a best-selling author. And what they really believe, man, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be a lot of struggle to be a best-selling author. I don't know if that's something I want to do. And then actions, they don't do any action. That's misalignment. That means nothing is matching. What alignment means to me is your thoughts match what you say, match what you believe, and match what you do. So if I say I'm going to be a best-selling author, I say it with my mouth, I project it out into the world, which you'll see in the book why your words and your vibration of what you say is so important. But I say to myself, I am a best-selling author, and I believe I can become a best-selling author. And I take the actions, as you see with the video, me coming with the book, publishing in my own company, creating my own company to publish. How you can see, I'm taking the action steps into getting it. I'm aligned. Everything I do is aligned. Nothing I think contradicts what I do and believe or say. That's what I want for you. And when you say you're purposeful, is when you're pure alignment. You know exactly, not maybe, but you know exactly what you want and what you're doing for and what your intentions are. And when you have that, that catapults you into a destiny. You're aligned. It's like the GPS system. When you tell it, hey, I'm going to go to Miami, there's 100 different ways to get to Miami. But what the book will do is show you the easiest, most non-resistant path to your destination. And that's the whole point of the book, is to get you from point A to point B without the struggle, man. Everybody feels, and I've been taught and programmed to believe that to get what you want, you have to struggle for it. And what I realize is that you don't. You can ease your way into it. And that's what this book is about, to find your way, to ease your way into it. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be this monotonous beatdown, but it can be a overwhelming, blissful joy to your destination. Like they say, it's the climb. It's not the getting to the peak of the mountain. It's the climb up. And that's what we want to make it easier. And that's with equipment. This book is equipment for you to equip yourself with the proper gear to climb up that mountain, to be easier versus the other person climbing with next to you struggling. And you'll get there a lot faster and a lot quicker when you're in pure alignment. Why did I write this book? I wrote this book because I was in a place where I was struggling myself. It was tough for me. I could not get past the humps that I was trying to get past. And I was down and out. I remember being totally depressed, contemplated suicide. I was kicked out of college twice. I remember sitting in my dorm room and I had, the liquor bottle to my face, wondering if I should walk to the lake behind the yard and just, finish it. But it wasn't until my sister handed me a book, which opened up my mind a little bit. And then I read another book, which kind of contradicted a little bit, but I found that there was alignment in all of it. And I started just getting so into this information and these interviews, and I started reading the Socrates and the Platos, all the way to the Michelangelos, to the Napoleon Hills, and even the current guys now. And I realized that to be successful, you need 20 things, 20 underlining things that you need to understand and master. And once I understood it and I started implementing it into my life, I saw the shift. Now I'm definitely not thinking about jumping in the lake. I'm probably the most healthy I've ever been. I actually feel like I actually look younger than I did before, just because I started treating myself better, mentally, physically. I started eating better because the mindset goes with the eating, and it's all one. And when I started implementing all these different things into my life, now I'm engaged to my soulmate. I live in a beautiful townhouse. I drive my dream car, my Lexus IS 250, which I wanted since I was a kid. Working with the great Les Brown. I've been published twice, and about to be 3 times. I own my own publishing company. I also own my own investing company. It's just a lot of things changed in my life, and I'm like, wow. And I remember sitting with friends and family, and they were still struggling. They were still holding on to things that they needed to let go. And I wanted to tell them and shake them and say, no, it could be better. And so that's the reason I wrote the book, is to give the information I have, because many people ask me, like, what are you doing? Why does life change for you? Are you just lucky? Did you touch a 4-leaf clover? What did you do? And I just said, I is implementing these 20 things that people have been doing for years, centuries. And I promise you something, nobody reaches a high pinnacle by mistake. They're all doing this, all of them. I did my research, they're all living this way. But even if they don't project it to the world, at home, they're living this way. So understand, there's 2 different people when you meet them. There's the people that you meet, I like to call the representative, which we'll talk about in another chapter, in another segment, or the real them, who they are at home. And I like to show who I am at home to the world, because people need this. They do. They really, really, really do. And so that's why I wrote the book, is to help people, to friends and family and people I know. I had, I won't give his name, a buddy from high school hit me up and said, Rich, I see the change. I've seen where you come from. We used to hang out. We were like the same people. And now I see the gap. What are you doing? Can I get your book? And it filled me with joy, almost to tears, that I know that I'm not doing this for no reason, that I'm doing this for a purpose. And now I'm creating my destiny. And that's what I want for everyone. So that's what we're going to be talking about in these segments, is what destiny on purpose is, and how to use these 20 incremental laws to become not just the best version of yourself, but to become blissfully and utterly happy. And honestly, that's what everyone wants. If you ever go a survey of people, what do you really want out of life? What do you truly want out of life? They say it's to be happy. This will get you there. That I promise you. So I just want to end this with a action item. So in the book, the very first introductory chapter, it ends with a line item line items for you to write down your truest desires. And how I ask you to do this is sit down, get away from everyone, outside world, and be in silence with yourself and close your eyes and think and visualize something, an ideal life, an ideal spouse, an ideal circumstance, an ideal whatever it is to you, something ideally that you are truly innately wanting. And when you visualize it, anything that makes you feel with joy, like when you start smiling for no, like you see it in your mind's eye and you start smiling, you feel with joy, write that down. And write down anything that makes you get that joyous feeling within yourself. Now, once you have that line item there, know that that is what you're supposed to be doing, or at least something along those lines. We'll go more in depth to sharpen those edges, but now you have a starting point, at least a destination. Hey, you may not say, I want to go to Collins Street on Miami Beach, but you can still say, hey, I want to go to Miami. So we're just going to get you to the vicinity of where you want to be by sitting back, easy breathing, and think about what makes you the most joyous. Would you be doing right now and you'd be just extremely ecstatically happy? Once you have that, now we have a starting point. So my action item for you today till next week is to write down those line items. Write them down and put them within your any notebook, a personal notebook, buy a personal notebook, something you can still write through this journey with you. And have that idea, and it'll sharpen, but at least now you have a starting point to pursuing your destiny. That's the best way to find your purpose, is to feel what would you love to do, which we'll talk about in our next video. But the first action item today is write down those items, and we'll see you next week. Hey, again, thank you for stopping by. Please share, like, comment, and just remember, even though if you may have this information and it's something that you're already practicing, there's people out there that may not have it, that are reaching and needing and yearning for it. So please share it with them for their benefit if it's not for yours. And I want to continue to do these videos, so please keep subscribing so I can continue to give great content for free, and I could give a positive outlook just on life and how to change your life and how to increase it from where it is to where you want to be. Again, this is Rich Fontaine of The Power of Self-Entertainment, and you could agree with me or not agree with me, but either way, I feel that this was a successful conversation.